Who are safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do, do you? No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women. You heard the latest? I heard this just the other day. There's a rumor that last week, a certain, I don't want to say who it is, a certain gentleman in ABC News, he went to a party and he got really drunk and he ended up having sex with his own wife. I don't know how these rumors get started, but you know, it's probably just a vicious rumor, really, you know.
And joining us in the Show Before the Show living room is host of Norm Macdonald Live on YouTube, the wonderful Norm Macdonald.
Yes, and Jenny, all the stars are here.
Do you want a microphone, Norm?
Yes. Is that my tree?
What a disaster.
Jenny, all the stars are here.
It's true.
Beardy Man, Claude Racine, Dax Flame, Betty Fine,
you got it,
and Raphael Fine. All the stars.
You really keep up with all that
are
stuff.
here tonight. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Harley Morenstein is here.
All right. And we also have comedian Todd Glass. He'll be hanging out backstage with some of tonight's guests. And on the red carpet, we've got comedian Kulap Vailesak and host...
I feel like Todd will be struggling to know these people.
I'm sorry, I'm going to continue with the what the computer says, Norm, although I'd love to talk to you more than this computer.
We're on
but
the
I have
computer.
to do what the computer says, even though I do love you, Norm. I think you're one of the best. We're also going to be talking to the host
I'm no Harley Morenstein.
You're not, Norm, but you got to just let me read this fucking thing.
The next time I watch a WNBA game will be the first time I watch a WNBA game.
And what's been going on? Bring us up to date. What's been on your mind?
I had a big pork chop for dinner, and I live in the moment. Mm-hmm. But my belly too big for the anyway. Two things struck me while I was eating dinner, Dave. One, you eat dinner at a restaurant different than you eat dinner at your home. Like, at your home, you would never say, man, I'm going to make myself a pork chop, cook it up till it's hot on one side, then turn it over, hot on the other side, cook it, and then cut into it a little bit, see how it's going in the middle. But while I'm waiting for my pork chop to get nice and hot and delicious so I can eat it, first, I'll eat a big loaf of bread.
So that's at home.
Yeah, at home. Get 20 or 30 pats of butter. The other thing I noticed is dessert. Now, in the old days, dessert, the waiter would come to your table and go, what do you want for dessert, a apple pie or a cherry pie?
Oh, yeah.
You go, I'll have a cherry pie.
Sure.
Or an apple pie, it don't matter. No reason to divide the audience this early.
No, that's right. You don't want to do that, no.
But you would order your pie, you'd eat it, and everything would be fine on earth.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's all different. Guy comes, he's got a big tray.
Oh, yeah.
He had a canted angle, every confection known to man.
Sure.
Suddenly, his tone changes. It's not like the pork chop anymore. Some kind of sexual undertones going on. He's like, you like this? You're like, I don't know. What is Do you like decadent things?
Yeah.
You're like, not that much.
No, yeah.
Once in a while, I guess.
Yeah.
May I tempt you, please? No, I'm a fella, you're a fella.
Yeah.
And now it's time for Weekend Update's movie reviews. This week I saw Interview with the Vampire. And here's my review. Not gay enough. No, there's an interesting dynamic that happens when a guy becomes way more successful and powerful than you are.
Right.
Which is, I don't want to phone out. I love Sandler. I talk to him a lot, but I try to limit it because he gets bugged a lot, you know? He gets
People want
bothered a
things
lot.
from him.
Yeah, people want things from him, so I don't want anything from him. But when I'm talking to him, I feel like he might think I want something from him or something like that.
Right. You're so aware of others' feelings. That
Now you're killing him. What the hell are you doing?
I know he's going to slam me when he says some shit like that.
Norm, you just snotted all over yourself.
I can fucking see that one coming.
In other words,
You're a motherfucker.
in other words, you're so in tune.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yes. You're bragging, aren't you? Now, you're saying...
Now, Norm, if there's one thing about Norm is he's very in touch with other people's feelings.
Norm.
I've never seen a reaction like that in here.
Norm, what you're saying, you know, you just vomited on yourself and you blew snot out of your nose. Norm,
There goes that mic.
what I'm trying to say.
No, what I was going to say was this.
But you like, I mean, you said you sometimes you have a little too much to drink, maybe?
Well, one time I drank a super amount, and I'd only been...
A super amount,
Yeah,
right?
it was when I was a young guy. I'd only drunk like 8 or 9 times in my whole life. I never had gotten really drunk, but I'd had drinks. And I went out with my buddies, and I was drinking, and they were having those crazy drinks. All of a sudden, I was really drunk. And then a guy gave me some pills. Like, he said, hey, you want some pills? And I said, yeah, all right. So I ate the pills. And you're not supposed to eat pills while you drink.
I think even if you're not drinking, it's not a good idea when someone goes, you want a bunch of pills? Yeah.
I know.
But, yeah, combining the two.
This guy was a decent guy. He was a bouncer. No. But, so I said, yeah, so these pills, they just make you like 100 times drunker. So then oh, man, I'm really drunk. And then, like, time passed, but I don't remember. And then my friends were like, hey, let's go. I'm like, why don't you guys go? Where are you going to, why go? Right? Like, we're in a bar drinking, right? And, like, it doesn't seem right that you don't want to go home, and watch I Love Lucy or something. So you're like, hey, I just stay here. I'll make new friends, right? So I was, like, real drunk, and everybody was, like, cool. It was like a Western. It had a jukebox, one of those. Guy gives you a whole bottle there, and you go, ah. And then...
That's what you do when you're drinking. You a pirate?
Yeah.
All of a sudden?
And then it was the funnest, man. There was a big fat bearded guy there, and I was hanging with him, real drunk. All of a sudden, right, I'm like, oh, man, I can't remember anything. I remember, like, I sort of falling into a pool table or something like that.
Right.
And then I wake up, right, and it's like I'm in a bed. I look beside, there's the fat bearded guy beside me.
No, really?
Yeah, yeah. So I go, oh, Lord God, I had sex with the fat bearded guy, And at the time, like, I never had sex before in my life.
Yeah.
And I always thought it's probably going to be with a lady. You know what I mean? So then I looked over, and the weird thing was, instead of us being in the same bed, he's in a separate bed, right? Like, we have 2 separate beds.
It's like twin beds.
Twin beds. So then I'm like, wait a minute, now this is weird, because, why would we be in separate beds? Is he like an old-fashioned gay guy, And then, right? But
he has the good values, yeah.
So
we're not married yet.
There's no such thing, of course, as an old-fashioned gay guy. They're the most decadent people. So I said,
What?
With sex, they enjoy sex like crazy,
We mustn't generalize.
No, we mustn't generalize.
No, but go ahead.
Seriously, if there was a bathhouse for straight guys, we wouldn't be able to have sex 9, 10 times a night anyway. So anyways, I'm with, they love sex, it's a good thing. But I'm beside the fat bearded guy. I go, holy Lord. Anyways, it turns out, not a gay man at all. Turns out this guy, when I blacked out, had checked me into a rehab.
No.
Yeah.
And she's in there with you?
Yeah, so I got robes and a slipper, and they wouldn't give me my clothes back. And I had to stay in there for 3 days. And they're like, you're an alcoholic. I go, no, I'm not. And then apparently that's what alcoholics say, too, So then, for 3 days, I had to stay there. I had to go to AA meetings, and I'd only been drunk like 9 times, So they're like, what's your worst one? I go, I guess the 9th one was bad,
Right.
That was, and when did you hit bottom? I said, I don't know. The cool part of it was the girls all get up, right? And they're all their stories are all the same. Whenever they hit bottom,
Right.
every story is the same. They're like, oh, when I hit bottom, you know, I a guy for a drink, you know? You're like, oh. You know, every guy. You know? Guy goes, you got the do-rag? He goes, you know, I fucking my woman, you know, and I don't want to answer the phone. Oh, shit, it could be a job, and you know. And then, you know, after you take the do-rag, you wipe off your dick with the do-rag. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. But everyone in the audience is like, yeah, we all do that. We all wipe our dicks off. Hey, WNBA, I got an idea that'll sell some tickets. Shirts and skins. Look, Taylor, I don't think you understand. You're a huge whore. Last night, the epic disaster film Twister opened to big box office and some controversy. The Reverend Jesse Jackson has called for a boycott of the movie, claiming that not enough black people in the film are killed by tornadoes. So at the end of the election, you know, it was trouble for the both candidates because they had the undecideds like me, didn't know. And so they were trying their hardest to get us to know, but, you know, we were all dumb. We didn't know. And then they decided to go with commercials where they just have some animals in them, you know? Like I remember one, it was a bunch of wolves, you know, and then the narrator, he goes, hey, do you want a bunch of wolves to eat you? You're like, damn, no, that's the last thing I want. And then the other character, he came out with his own, because the wolf thing was working good. And so his was, he goes, would you rather be a ostrich or a eagle? And you're like, that's a tough one there. And the guy's like, you'd rather be an eagle, you retard? I would, yes, because then the wolf can't jump up as high enough to catch you. So you're like, all right. I'll tell you what I do like in the news, the big murder trials, you know, because I can follow that, you know. And now we have the greatest one that's coming up, you know, because it's the best when celebrities are up for murder, because then you know the guy, you know? And so, right? So they selected the jurors for the Robert Blake trial, so that will move on, and I'm happy about that, because I love Robert Blake. Ever since I was a kid, watched him. Beretta, my favorite show. God damn, that was a good show. I will say one thing about Robert Blake. The guy appears to have not the greatest alibi I've ever heard. Seems to be a relatively weak alibi to me, you know, and I'm no jurisprudence, you know, I don't know. But this is his alibi as far as I can figure it out. He goes, it couldn't have been me who shot my wife in the secluded area over by the side of the ditch. On account I have an alibi. Oh, where were you? I had to go back to the restaurant. I forgot my gun. Then I got my gun. I went back to where my wife is, and goddamn, somebody shot her. Now, so I don't know what alibis he discarded before he decided to go with that one, but.
Is this a really good question, Norm? Here's a familiar face for you,
It's
Blake.
a question from Blake's good friend, Norm. No, Blake, it's fun watching you this year. Wasn't it cool?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I was wondering, like, there's a kind of a curse with Rookie of the Year. Nobody's ever repeated it.
I didn't think about that. Well, I'll try as hard as I can next year, but
All right, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Thank you for that question, though. That's going on top of the goals for next year.
The parents of Honey Boo Boo are getting married this week. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds fucking retarded.
So, Jenny, what month was your issue?
Quoting Churchill.
May of 08.
Who was on the cover? Do you remember?
It was a Russian girl. And my nickname's Genocide, so I think that was kind of funny.
What?
What? What do you mean?
Is Genocide giving her comedy fucking advice?
Why is that?
It's funny because there was a genocide
In Russia?
Only about 70 years ago.
against the Russian people.
Who still lives?
But me. That's not
You
it.
first.
Huh?
Check it back. No, it was it wasn't a complete genocide.
What do you mean?
No, it was.
Well, Stalin was a mass murderer.
Only Jewish people seem to get really offended by my nickname.
There are fives in a case.
Dave's getting more.
Right,
Well-
because they're the only ones that live
Well, the only
through
true
a
genocide was the. Well, I don't
Sam,
want to say.
another
What
one
about the
this way,
American
Sam.
Indians? That was a true genocide.
Wow. What?
The American Indians was a true genocide.
No, that was for land.
No, that was justified.
That was for land. We were taking their property.
No,
It doesn't matter. What doesn't
Yes,
matter
no.
what the motive
no,
is.
the genocide.
Yeah, the motive
against
is
the
to
Indians
just
was
hatred of a race to exterminate them without a political or economic agenda.
What we did with the
Genocide?
Indians.
Well, it's not
No,
justifiable.
well, who's saying it's justified?
I said it. Well, let's
Just we got to bury them.
I'm just wondering how it's justified.
point counterpoint.
You've never
I'm trying to take another
You've never heard the legal term justifiable genocide? Hitler was out of his mind at the time. Clearly insane.
I'm trying to take another opinion so we can have some friction here. It's a television show, honey. I can't agree with
This guy
everything you
fancies
say.
himself a modern-day Bill Maher.
Thank you for the dumb opinion.
You know, before I did the show, I never realized how much work it took to put on a production like this. Check it out. They spent 2 months building all these incredible sets. They had to coordinate 14 live music acts. And most impressive of all, they had to find a seat filler for Jennifer Lopez. She's got a... What the fuck? What was that? Now, maybe you guys are right. Maybe she doesn't have a gigantic ass. I stand corrected. Well, just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. And of course, there are some important Washington figures who couldn't be here tonight. Vice President Al Gore is not here. Unfortunately, he broke down and they had to leave him in the shop overnight. But they say he'll be all right later. Something wrong with the voice box or something. I don't know what it was. House Speaker Newt Gingrich is not here. A little while back, of course, everybody knows that Newt pushed through a lot of budget cuts in the arts, particularly in PBS, you know, and the effects are being felt now. I can see it, even as a layman, you know, just watching. You know, the other day I watched that show, the Frugal Gourmet. It changed its name to the Cheap Bastard. I mean, it's crazy. And Senator Ted Kennedy couldn't be here. You know, there's a lot of jokes about Ted Kennedy, but I recently watched an interview. It was very touching. You know, Ted was talking about, or Mr. Kennedy. What the hell am I calling him Ted for? Senator Kennedy was talking about how he proposed to his lovely wife Vicki Reggie, and it was very touching. You know, it was a different side of Ted Kennedy that you don't see. He was very old-fashioned and romantic. You know, when he made the proposal, it was very nice. He got up on one knee and he. It was nice, you know.
We're joined by the talented trio called the Lonely Island.
Yeah,
who
you
will
know
be
what I
on the
call
big.
them?
What do you call them?
I call him Sandberg and the other couple of fellas.
The Mind Squad
The
is
other
how
couple.
Rolling Stone put it.
The other two, Akiva and Yorma, thank you guys for joining us. Andy.
Thanks for knowing our names.
Yeah, no, I read the card. You guys ever been to a thing like this? No. What do you think?
Nothing like this.
It feels so pro and real. Am I on TV? Am I on the internet?
We don't know.
Oh, you're on the computer.
You're on a velvet couch. You're on a maroon velvet couch in the beating hot sun.
Hey, can I ask a serious question? I mean, fuck all these jokes. like when you name yourselves, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever have fucking moments of regret later because it's permanent, almost like a tattoo?
Absolutely. Yeah, The Lonely Island, I was outvoted.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What were the other runner-up names?
Our first album was called Incredibad, and I wanted that to be the name of the band. But
we would have had regrets about that too, though.
Probably.
Let's be honest.
There's no winning when you're a comedy troupe.
Does that happen a lot?
It all
Yeah,
sucks.
you're a troop.
Who comes up with the ideas, or do you guys fight a lot over ideas, or how does that work?
It's a democratic process.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 always
Two out of
3
three,
wins. Yeah.
Who's always getting left out?
Someone's always mad.
It's whoever's not in town.
Got it.
How do you guys feel in your bodies? Do you feel healthy and strong?
Absolutely not.
I could be eating better.
Yeah.
Yeah, digestion could be going better.
Yeah. I feel like that about
Hey,
myself.
enough of these fucking jokes. Can I ask one more serious question?
Hit me with a real one, Norm.
A real one.
Sandberg, when you went to SNL,
Yeah.
you went different than anybody else because you were already a fucking big hit, right?
I don't think so. Is that true?
We were definitely not a big hit. No.
Oh, Saturday Night Live made you guys a big hit?
Yeah, I mean, we had a small internet following.
Oh, so the computer doesn't really work to make you a big hit?
I mean, that was like 17 years ago, right? How long ago was that? It was a while ago. It's changed now.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you started Incredibad
/ The Lonely Island.
Yeah, The Lonely Island. What's the significance of that name, though? That's what really I wanted to ask. The Lonely Island. You think of all islands as kind of lonely.
Do you really want to hear the story?
Yes, please.
I do
I
too.
do a real short version, which is just basically was what we called the apartment we lived on Olympic with all the traffic. It was a sarcastic name from a sarcastic Tennessee Williams style sketch we did about the apartment. Akiva wrote a one-act play.
God damn, I wish I had a time machine.
To see that action.
Yeah, no, to take back my question.
Thought you were going to say to murder Hitler.
I would not. You know, people always fucking want to murder Hitler with their time machine, right? But then I feel if I got back there, I'd be afraid of falling under the spell of his fucking beautiful eyes.
It's true.
And oratory, and
he
then
locked in the gaze.
Yeah, and then I join the fucking party,
That's
knowing
his
me.
thing. He gives you his full attention. You're like, whoa,
All
wait
right.
a minute. Maybe there's
Norm,
something to
I mean-
this guy.
Norman, before you ask another serious
Believe
question,
it or
we
not,
gotta
they're
move
telling
on.
us to wrap it up. I don't exactly
I
know
want to.
why you
Wrap
guys.
it what? This was fun for everyone.
It's the
For the
Lonely
record,
Island, guys.
I would have killed Hitler. So thanks, gentlemen.
Can I just clarify? if I did go back in time to kill Hitler, I would do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't get
That's
lost
the-
in
that's
his
the front
eyes
door
and then
choice.
bail.
Yeah.
Just so I
Thanks
don't get like
for
hit
having
from all the like
I know, all the-
defamation
Yeah,
leagues.
no,
Yeah,
He would, you would end it. Yeah.
Pro.
Listen,
Okay.
man, I'm sorry about
We got to wrap it up.
I'm sorry
It's
about
over.
bringing up Hitler.
You really brought this live show to a new
This is
level.
the first one, right? This is your first interview?
It's just gonna get worse from
This is
here.
the first time I've ever been interviewed a
Just
man.
sign
If you can
things
bring
to
Hitler
come.
into all of them, they're going to ask you back for sure, which is I know what you want.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Okay, tell him to go now.
Or you could just be
Hey,
dressed
I
as
love
Hitler.
you guys, man. Rock tonight. Jonathan Schmitz, the Jenny Jones guest who killed his secret gay admirer because of his fear and hatred of homosexuality, has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Well, I guess that plan backfired, huh? And you know, as an actor, it's hard, I've heard. But I had a TV show once, Norm. I played Norm. That was the one time I was not funny. No, it was a fine show. But we had a great actor on it, and his name was Jack Warden. You remember Jack Warden?
Of course I remember Jack
My
Warden.
God.
Yeah, great actor.
You remember them?
Well, they have a picture of Jack.
They have a picture of Jack Warden. There he is. You guys remember Jack Warden?
Likeable. A Broadway star, too.
He was. He was on Broadway. He told me he was in the Man in the Glass booth where he had to go an hour and a half, one single monologue. Now, I have him on my show, the Norm Show. I played Norm. And his memory's gone, and he didn't like it, you know, and it frustrated him. And I remember I was in the scene with him, so I had to remember all my lines just in case he got his right. So it was really hard on me as well.
Oh, yeah, it could take a toll on you.
Yeah,
sure.
so I remember the first line he had, we're watching a hockey game. He's a tough old guy, playing a tough old guy. And he was like, his line was supposed to be, I'll tell you, Normie, hockey's no good anymore, not since they put in their helmets. That was the line, right? Mm-hmm. So he looks over at me and just blank eyes. So I know he don't got nothing. But he's trying to use his acting skills, you know? So he looks at me and goes, Normie, Normie, Normie. And you could see what he remembered through what he said. Like, because he said it at this exact moment. He'd go like, Normie, Normie, Normie. Hockey, Normie. Hockey, Normie. And we're in the set as a rink.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey, Normie. I'll tell you about hockey, Normie. I'll tell you, it's no good anymore, Normie. You know why it's no good anymore, Normie? I'll tell you right now. Normie, Normie, Normie. That was cut. Take two.
So then, anyways, Woody Harrelson's really cool, and fucking actors, man. When they're really good, it's like something different,
right?
You know, and because I'm just waiting for the other fucker to stop talking and hoping God I remember
You're
my
not even
line.
paying attention.
No, I'm just hoping to remember my words. So, anyways, fucking what's his name? Woody Harrelson asked me if I want a beer. You know,
mm-hmm.
He goes, "You want a beer?" I go, "No, it's cool. I don't drink. You know." He goes, "You don't want a beer?" I go, "No, I don't drink, but thanks, man." And then I go, "You drink? Like, I thought you just smoke weed and all that shit." And then all of a sudden, Milos Forman goes, "Cut! What the fuck is going on?" Like we were in the movie.
You didn't know.
No.
You thought he was talking to you.
He was looking at me and talking like a regular person.
Oy vey.
There was nothing fake about it.
You got caught up in the movie.
He was such a good actor.
Right.
You didn't they yell action? There was nothing to do.
No, he doesn't say that.
He doesn't do that.
Yeah. And then later...
Did you ever meet the real Larry Flynt?
Later,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I met the real Larry Flynt.
What was that like?
Oh, my God. He was at the fucking... It was this dinner where you talk in front of the president or some fucking thing where you're a comedian and the president's standing beside you.
Yeah.
So I was the president. I was the comedian.
Yeah.
And the president was president. Anyway, so whatever. Larry Flynt is there, right? So he fucking meets me afterwards in the hallway, and he goes, "Ah!"
You don't understand
what the fuck? And I'm uncomfortable with anybody. Yeah, I get uncomfortable with people that have afflictions.
That's the one problem you have. You can't deal with afflictions.
I get nervous, and I look close to them, and then I hope they can't see the horror in my eyes.
I want to know how Larry Flynt got that close to the president. Yeah, but go ahead.
He was like, because every year they have a kind of a joke guy, I guess, or something.
Right.
So he's like, so I have to get close to him. I go, what? And he goes, when you're in L.A., you ever get to L.A.? So I go, yeah, I get to L.A. He goes, drive by, I'll take care of you. You know?
Wow. Thank you.
So then I was thinking in my head, like normally if a guy says, like, for instance, if my Uncle Basil said, "Hey, come to the Ottawa Valley, I'll take care of you," that'd mean he'd make you a nice mincemeat pie or something like that.
Right.
This, I had a feeling was...
He's going to fuck you.
He's probably... I think maybe he would have fucked me.
I'm going to put it in your ass there, Norm.
No, he's not.
Wrestle you and get on top.
He's the straightest guy in the world.
No, get in my lap. I'm going to have you ride around in my chair with me.
No, he's the straightest guy in the world. What I think it would mean is I'd be with some hot lady, and then all of a sudden he'd come in his wheelchair whacking off.
Listen to me.
Have you ever done anything in your long and storied career that you consider specifically to be in bad taste as you look back on it? Maybe at the time you thought it was a good play, but you look back on it and you think that was in bad taste.
Well, sometimes, like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are like one time I was doing this thing in San Francisco, and they were all gay people in the audience. They told me, so I figured I'll do.
In San Francisco?
Yeah.
No.
So I figured I'd do stuff about gay people so that they could relate to it.
Yeah, it's warm up. They love that.
And so I was talking about, because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," you know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know? It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that
these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work like they're, hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know, first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and, oh yeah, he loves cock. You know? This kid. He can't get enough cock in his mouth, his ass, his kid's always cock. I got a picture of the boy here sucking another man's cock. I want to show it to him. You're gonna be proud.
To watch the maturation of you as an artist, to realize it took you 9.5 minutes to get around to the sucking cock stuff. It's beautiful to see you comfortable in your own skin, Normie.
Quite a year in music, though. Let's look back. A lot of classic songs have been covered this year, haven't they? Lenny Kravitz did American Woman. Dwight Yoakam did Crazy Little Thing Called Love. And Barry Manilow released an album entitled Manilow Sings Sinatra. And I'll tell you, it is a great CD, or as I like to call it, it is a great coaster. I like to throw my drinks on that. It's not a good CD at all. And
oh, I have an announcement to read. I almost forgot. I was told to make this announcement. Table 10, wherever you are, table 10. We're sorry your waitress hasn't been there in a while. Larry King just married her. So. I have to say, though, you know, this is an incredible thing for me. You know, I'm just a punk, you know, and yet here I am, you know, I can't believe I'm speaking in a room. I'm standing in a room here with the most powerful man in the country, Alan Greenspan, you know, and it's a little amazing to me. It's a little, you know. Of course, that's the big story in here in Washington is the recent marriage between NBC's Andrea Mitchell and Alan Greenspan, who is 71 years old. And this is sweet, you know, I didn't know this. They wrote their own vows, you know. She promised to love, honor, and speak into his good ear. So that was it's kind of sweet, you know.
Oh, we're back. I just have word that all the stars are out. Rhett McLaughlin and Charles Lincoln Neal just were spotted. All the stars. It was good to see those workaholic guys because I personally am a workaholic. For many years, I was helplessly addicted to workahol. The Roastmaster General, Jeff Ross, joins us.
Hi,
yes.
Jeff. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, you got the first
Hello, world.
Yeah.
Norm, this is so fun. Thank
Jeff,
you for having
man.
me on your live podcast.
It's always fun to see you without a giant cloud of marijuana smoke between us.
Well, it's outdoors. It drifted away.
Yeah, how you doing, buddy? You got your hair cut a little.
I had a little trim. I was at the doggy groomer for 2 hours today.
I have a question, Jeff. You usually show up wearing something very exotic.
Yeah.
Why the denim today?
I dressed like Billy Jack.
Yeah.
You look sharp.
great.
I
Thank you,
like
Jenny.
it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're trying to up my game for the live YouTube show.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're a hot fucking piece of ass.
Look at that. I do all my shopping at the mall. Have you ever been to Forever 41?
Forever 41?
Norm, you're dressing like you're going to help somebody move. You're wearing sweatpants to the biggest show in YouTube history.
This is the biggest show on the internet.
You dress like you're going to paint the set.
He can't help himself. I gotta ask you this, though. Hey, I saw, by the way, on the computer, a show you do now called Morning Roast. Yeah. Unbelievable. You wake up in the morning, you turn on your computer, there's Jeff Ross waking up himself, roasting somebody. How's that work?
Well, whatever comes to my hungover head, I just start making fun of, and I put it up on my YouTube page.
God damn, it's funny.
Who should I roast this week?
What about Cassim?
Yeah,
it would be an honor if you could just do me.
He's an Arab, if that helps.
I only roast celebrities, Cassim, so you're off the hook.
Thank you.
Orange is the new black.
But not in my apartment building. Kevin is the new black.
Today is the 11th birthday of President Obama's youngest daughter, Sasha, or as I like to call her, the uppity one.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Jesus
I'm a regular Mozart.
I really appreciate you coming on here tonight. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm not going to be around much longer.
Yes, I know, and
show.
I understand there's only 12 shows left, and this may be my last appearance.
Well, I hope not, but.
So I was going to ask for a souvenir.
You know, you're the first person to bring this up, and I'm touched. And I want to say to you, Norm, as a friend and as somebody I have admired your entire career, whatever you want is yours. Except, Todd, you're not giving up the sweatshirt, are you? Anything you want.
Okay, excellent. Well, maybe, oh, I know.
What? No, wait a minute. That's, Norm, those are expensive. Can you? Be careful. Oh, my God. Norm, look out. It's fine. That's fine. It's still under warranty. Okay, we'll be right back with Norm Macdonald.
I'll tell you what, this is what happened to me with the psychiatrist once. I think this is why I don't do it anymore.
You did go to a psychiatrist.
When I was a young man, when
Yes.
I was like 17 or trouble kid, and they sent me to a psychiatrist.
Right.
And I talked to the guy, and I talked to him twice, right?
Right.
Next week, he fucking commits suicide.
Is that true?
So it's in the paper. Then I'm reading about the guy's the worst fucking life ever. Like coke and you know. I mean, I shouldn't say the worst, but you know, just the worst fucking life. And I felt so bad because here I am yammering to him on his last week of life about, my God, my mother. You know, so.
You did MTV Beach House recently, and you know, there's a certain kind of person you expect to show up on the MTV Beach House, and I hear, we'll be right back with MTV Beach House, our special guest, Norm Macdonald. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
It's this.
What was that?
It's this show on MTV, right?
I know.
And it's at a beach.
It's at a beach.
And they don't script anything. Like, you know, they do like for anyway. So the dude, the host, was like, hey Norm, do you mind wearing a pair of trunks? You know, bathing trunks? And I go, no, I don't want to wear that. You know, because I'm like, my body's like all weird looking and everything. And everybody else is super hot ladies and super hot men. You know, I don't, you know, whatever.
Whatever you... Wow.
So,
got an issue about that. All right, go ahead.
So I'm on the show, right? So they're saying, hey, come on, seriously, put on the trunks. I'm like, no, man, I don't want to. So then they think this will be funny. They go, hey, we're going to show you a fashion show. Some dudes will come out, you know, and show you, you see what you think. I go, what? So all of a sudden, these three dudes come out, right, dancing around in their thongs and shorts and everything.
They're wearing thongs or shorts? Which one?
Bathing trunks, but some of them are like thongs where you can see their dirty arses. So, so I'm like watching it, you know, and I'm like, oh,
it's like
man.
Chaucer. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm like, oh. I guess it is.
Okay, go
Old
ahead.
English. So I said, you know, oh, yeah, no, I'm pretending to go, oh, yeah, that's funny, right? And,
you do a lot of that at MTV, yeah.
So then the guy, the host, he goes to this one guy who was very, very, very gay. He goes,
what? How do you know that?
No, I mean,
you had a sign?
Yeah, he looked very, very gay. He says to this dude, he says, hey, I'll give you $20 if you lap dance on Norm. You know what I mean?
Right.
All of a sudden, this dude like, hey, $20. I guess he didn't have much money. Starts running towards me, right? So I look up. Here's this nude, almost nude dude running towards me, right? So I think in my head, okay, man, pretty soon the guy's going to be writhing around on my lap with his ass, you know? And I don't want that on TV, you know, forever.
No, it's okay to talk about it, but you don't want to see it.
Right. They videotape that, and it's there forever. So, meanwhile, what can I do? You know, you can't hit a guy because it looks bad. You know what I mean? You know? Even though, of course, a woman could hit a naked guy running at him.
Sure, that's
fine.
okay.
But a man can't hit him.
Yeah.
So I have to think fast. It's only a second. So I bolt. I take off, right?
You started running, too?
Yeah, running down the beach.
The guy catch you or no?
Yeah, and then I had to come back on. They're like, oh, Mr. Homophobic. I won't let a guy grind his ass into you.